8.
تفضلوا استريحوا، تفضلوا استريحوا.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, President Chancellor Olaf Scholz of Germany, ladies and gentlemen, allow me at the beginning to express my sadness and extend the grievances of what the martyrs of the Baptist hospital bombarding, and we condemn the great violation of the international law, and I reiterate
اسمح لي ان انا ارحب بكم في مصر في توقيت غاية في الدقة والخطورة في ضوء التصعيد العسكري الخطير الذي يشهده قطاع غزة.
The dangerous situation that Gaza witnesses and the challenges, regional challenges related to this escalation. Your visit to Egypt reflects the strategic relation to our country, and we have to explore ways to enhance the in-between relations, and this visit allows constant coordination in order to achieve our common goals, on top of which achieving stability and peace in MENA, and also reflects the European continent peace. Ladies and gentlemen, our discussions tackle today with the German Chancellor in details the military exchange fires between Israeli and Palestinian, and the military escalation in Gaza Strip that led thousands of killed people on both sides, and tackles and warning critical consequences on civilians and the peoples of the region, as well as the humanitarian situation in Gaza is deteriorating tragically and unprecedentedly. The constant military operations will have tragic and humanitarian consequences, can go out of control, and also warning the expansion of struggle if there is no efforts, all party, regional, international efforts to immediately de-escalate the situation. We tackled the Egyptian efforts together to embrace the crisis in between by our intensive calls with the parties and all regional and international areas, and we agreed to return to ease the tension in order to avoid going into a vicious circle of exposing civilians' lives into more danger. We also intensified the necessity of cooperation with Palestinian issue with a comprehensive and integrated vision, assuring the Palestinians' right to have their own, individual state. Based on 1948 limits with Jerusalem as its capital. We agreed with Chancellor with the importance of working intensively to continue the peace process and finding horizons to settle the situation, the Palestinian issue. I also expressed Egypt's concern from the dangers of humanitarian situation in Gaza and the necessity of humanitarian access to Gaza and facilitate the UN and humanitarian organizations there. And I reiterated again Egypt's continuity to receive humanitarian aid and its commitment to deliver these assistance to Gaza Strip by through ground Rafah crossing, putting into consideration that Egypt did not close the crossing since the beginning of the crisis, but the updates on ground and the Israeli bombardments to the crossing while it's working, as I reiterated that Egypt refuses settling this Palestinian situation with military ways and forcibly displacing Palestinians from their land, and Egypt will continue supporting their valid right to defend their land. Allow me to talk I spoke a lot with the Chancellor in this regard, and the Palestinian case causes very critical, and we'll explain a lot in this regard, because we see that what is happening in Gaza now is not only keening on directing military operation against Hamas, but it's an attempt to push civilians to take refuge in Egypt. And I will talk very frankly to those who are concerned in peace in the region. And the importance of it is not accepting it, not just in Egypt, but we are a country with sovereignty that we're keen during the past years since the signing of peace agreement with Israel to have the strategic path we are keen on and develop, and we are concerned to support other countries in joining us. I'd like to tell you that the sector, the strip now is under the control of Israel, and during the last years, we will not say that Israel did not succeed in controlling, building military capabilities of Islamist factions, but I'd like to say why we have reached this. Is there a Palestinian state that was there during the last 20 or 30 years that we succeeded in having it to light despite all the different laws issued by UN and Arab initiatives presented in this regard to establish a Palestinian state, unarmed Palestinian state, and when we suggest to have Arab troops ensuring the stability and the peace of Israeli citizens and Palestinian citizens as well. So this did not happen. If we see what is happening now in Palestine without knowing the reasons behind it, we are not justifying. We are not justifying at all any acts targeting any civilians. So we are saying that we don't want to tackle this issue as it's the heart of our issues and has a great impact on our stability. And we follow closely what is happening. So the idea of displacement or forcibly displacing Palestinians out of Strip to Egypt means simply that we'll have something similar, which is displacing Palestinians from West Bank to Jordan. Therefore, so the idea of a Palestinian state and we're talking about on the international community we're talking about is cannot be implemented because we have the ground, but the people are not there. So that's why I warn against this the dangers of this issue. By the way, I explained this lengthily to Chancellor that understand fully the idea. The whole idea is moving Palestinians to Sinai. Very simply, is moving the idea of resistance, the idea of fighting from Gaza to Sinai. So that's therefore Sinai will be a base to launch operations against Israel. That's why in this case Israel will have the right to defend its home security. So in a response to this, we'll deal with Egypt and launch air strikes to Egypt. Egypt is a big country, was keen on peace, so that's why we need all to contribute in the big investments we have in this peace. That we don't want to go to go it in vain with an idea cannot be implemented. And I said this to Chancellor. I'd like to say it in public. If there is an idea of displacement, we have Naqab Desert in Israel. We can move Palestinians there until Israel ends its announced operation to eliminate armed factions as Hamas and Islamist Jihad, and it can, after that, they can move them back if they want. So if moving them to Egypt, the military operation can extend to years, and they can say that they did not end the mission, and Egypt will tolerate the consequences of this. And Sinai will turn to a base launching terroristic attacks on Israel. So that's how our peace we made will go in vain. I said to Chancellor that the public, Egyptian and Arab public opinion is impacted by each other. So, if the matter needed requesting me to request from Egypt going out to chanting against this idea, you will find millions of Egyptians taking to street to express their refusal of this idea and supporting Egypt's stance in this regard. I'm saying this in advance because we see the siege, the complete siege of Gaza. I'm sorry for taking long, but it is a critical issue, and stopping, seizing water, electricity, and everything to Gaza as the ultimate goal is moving Palestinians out of Gaza. So we refuse the forced displacement out of Gaza. Ladies and gentlemen, we tackled together the summit Egypt called for to tackle the peace process, and we reiterated that the summit will enhance to cease the bloodshed and deal with the humanitarian situation deteriorating and strongly boost the peace path. At the end, I welcome you again, Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Egypt, and I do apologize that this visit is under difficult circumstances, but I hope that this visit will be a fundamental step to end the current crisis and have peace coping among people. Thank you.
Sehr geehrter Herr Präsident, danke, dass wir uns so kurzfristig treffen konnten. Es ist eine sehr ernste und schwierige Zeit.
Currently, this is a very difficult meet in Cairo. Yesterday, we heard bombarding news that on a hospital that led hundreds killed. We don't know exactly what happened. It's very important to announce to hold responsible who's behind the attack. We wish the speedy recovery to injured. Hamas attacked, launched terroristic attacks with great impacts on our and civilians in Israel and Palestine. I'm saying here in Cairo with crystal clear that the attack Hamas launched against Israel cannot be justified, and we condemn with strongest terms. All the countries around the world has the right and the duty to defend itself and protect its citizens, and this right is for Israel as well. President Sisi, we tackled intensively the humanitarian situation in Gaza Strip, and it's clear for us that Palestinians are not Hamas, and Hamas has not the right to speak on behalf of Palestinians while taking honest innocents as hostages and human shields. Our goal is to protect civilians and do something against in the suffering. That's why I'm here in Egypt, because it's a direct neighbor to this area, and Egypt is impacted of the repercussions. We work together to reach, to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza. They need water, medications, medical supplies. I can tell you, Mr. President, that we will not leave citizens there on their own. The world will do its role in providing humanitarian aid to citizens there. President Sisi, Egypt and Germany has shared the idea of not expanding the repercussions in this in the area, and I warn any countries to intervene in the struggle with the cooperation of Egypt. I would like to prevent the impacts of this war, horrible war. In the past, President Sisi had a great role in negotiating, and I'd like to express my appreciation and today you're trying again and exert effort to ease the tension and de-escalate the situation, and this also related to the hostages matter. We do our best to set them free, and this is one of the most important matters we tackle. President Sisi, combating the crisis is what matters us. So I'd like to continue the economic fields in a cooperation between us. Germany provides good investments in railways and environment, and this all good signs. Also, Egypt's joining to Climate Club. I thank you, Mr. President, for this fruitful meeting we have today. I'd like to thank you, President Sisi, for your generous hosting, and I'd like to see you in Egypt again or in Germany.